In the number one video, or part one video, we talked about the child that is born being innocent before God. Many times you'll hear people say that 12 years old is the age of what they call accountability. In other words, that's when child becomes separated from God because of their knowledge of evil, and the committing of it becomes real to them. And that's not necessarily true. Jesus, and they come by that because they say that Jesus was seen in the temple at 12 years old. Before that, there was no record of his life or his young childhood. And the reason for that was because in the custom of the Jews, and they still have it today, for the girl it's called a bat mitzvah, and with the son it's called a bar mitzvah. And what that is at 12 years old, they have a ceremony and a party, coming of age, coming into womanhood, coming into manhood. And that was exactly what Jesus was doing at 12 years old. He was coming into manhood. And when Mary and Joseph lost him for that time, he had already gone through the ceremony. So the elders of the temple were listening to a man when Jesus was teaching there in the temple, and Mary found him. So, as I said, and this is just a feeling that this is the truth of God. I'm not saying that God spoke to me in some magic whirlwind and that you should take that as truth. But this could be the mention that God made about death, and that is that the child, when they become to the point where they can say in their hearts, should I do this? This feels wrong. Something is not right here. Then when they commit that sin, they have died unto God. The safety of his fellowship is no longer there. Just like the safety and the fellowship were taken away in the Garden of Eden from Adam and Eve. And the Bible said that God enjoyed the conversations that they had together, that they walked and talked in the cool of the evening. And it was like a fellowship there. And this is what Adam lost in his part of the transgression, was the fellowship with the Creator. The created and the Creator moving together as is intended. So when we say that our relative passed away or died, we put forth the vision of the body in the casket or in the coffin, and we mourn because we've lost that fellowship. We have memories of that person that will continue with us. Many times the memories are not good, but most times they are. And that's why we weep. It's not because God is not close to us. It's not because we do not feel that there is a point in time out there where we're going to see them again. I don't believe that anybody that goes to a funeral would believe that that was their last time to look up on what they've known or what they've reenacted or enacted with as their relative, that that's the last time they'll see them. I don't believe that. But we have the memories. We know that we're not going to hear their voice anytime soon. We know, we remember their laughter, but remembering is all we're going to do. But that loved one is alive even more so, because they are free of the constraints of this vessel of clay. The awareness is quickened. The wisdom is quickened. The knowledge is quickened. And even those people who have rejected God and gone out into eternity with their choice being fixed, their memory, their senses are quickened to such a point that all they do is remember. All they do is bewail the times that the Spirit of God has kissed their soul, has beckoned for them to come where the rest is, where the peace is, where the love and eternal joy is. And this person had rejected it. In heaven, or in paradise, the souls that have come to Christ have chosen that way are in a state of total bliss, eternal bliss. The love, the peace, the joy just keeps flowing. And there is no thought of the earth. There is no thought of that realm that they spent 80 some odd years in. There's only the awareness that they are home, and that they are home for eternity. But all of this, whether the soul goes to the prisons in the pit or below the earth, or it goes to paradise, that soul is still alive, is still conscious. And the vessel that we look upon is only an empty remembrance, is only an empty shell. We will see that loved one again. If the promise of salvation is upon our souls, there is no death. But for those who have not taken the lifeline, taken the pardon from a prison and a life of servitude to a cruel, cruel master, meaning Lucifer, they will have memories, as I said, that will flood over them. And they will be tormented in a heat that has no end. The rich man in Lazarus told Father Abraham, I am tormented in this flame. Doesn't necessarily mean there was physical flame there. But when you have an abundance of heat, you have to realize that there's a source there. So you would call it flame. Now, the flame comes in the lake of fire. When we are changed, when the body takes on those characteristics of either dwelling in paradise forever or in the lake of fire, the same God that made a fire that would not consume the bush on Mount Horeb in front of Moses is the same God that can make a flame that will not consume that body. I do not like to be this serious. I do not like to be this straightforward. But I feel that darkness is coming. I feel that my voice and the voice of others who truly, truly care about your soul, who are truly beckoning beside Jesus to come and taste of the waters, their voices will be stilled very soon. And the only ones that you will hear are those that promise you wealth and prosperity if you just send them your offering. I think you know who I mean. God bless you, Maranatha. And whether you believe it or not, life is exciting for this prophet.